what we've got here. Ah, perfect. You've got to give me an A for effort. I try. I don't always succeed, but I try. Hey Tracy. Hey Shirley. Hello Brit Baby. Hello A plus for effort. Come on one. Come on in. Let's start sharing the live. Let's get it out to as many people as we possibly can. The first story we're basically doing over last night. The story of Vera Jo Regal is heartbreaking. It's long. So I'm not going to rush it. If that's the only story that we get to tonight, then so be it. Hello, Miranda. Hey, Tammy Weber. Hello, Sherry Ann. Cheryl Ann. Hello. Cheryl Ann. Do you like scary stories? Hey, Spitfire. Very sad. But you wouldn't believe the people that I've had to contact me today saying, you are going to tell that over again, right? Yes, I'm going to tell it over. Hey, Cece. Thank you, Cheryl Ann. It was just a mess. And that's all I can say, Harper's Happening. So I tried to go live on my phone and it was terrible. No one could hear me. And I thought that was the purpose of doing lives on TikTok, was you could just turn it on and go live at any moment. Apparently not on my phone, so. Hey XJ, who's that girl? Oh girl, you came in on the right night. Hello Zoe Ann. Hey Lollipop. Hello Long Starburst, how are you? Hey AJ Kev. Tomorrow night is going to be Hastings House, the last 2 chapters. I don't, and that was what I was trying to figure out, Melanie. Before the live even went on, I was like, do I have my AirPods connected or anything? And I don't. I even turned off all Bluetooth devices, so I'm not sure. I will figure it out though. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Cheryl Ann. Hey, Legend of the 80s. What kind of stories do you like, Cheryl Ann? Oh my goodness, Crazy Kentucky Witch. I missed you. Hello, Jenna. Thank you for the twisted trinkets. Right now, just to get everyone started, the twisted trinket goal is set here, and then my Bewitched boutique is here. Do as the moon calls you to do. Whether it is a small trinket or a large one, it is greatly appreciated and is going toward keeping this live alive and thriving. Who do I have over here in YouTube land? What? Oh, well there we are. Hey Mary. Hey Ginger Moon. So share this with someone tonight is true crime, serial on a liver night. So do you have someone that's a crime junkie? They are going to want to hear this story. All right, let's get the music set for tonight's show. I can feel the cold chills already. Are you a silent night dweller out there in TikTok land or YouTube? Come in, say hello. Let's do a music check. Can everybody hear it? Most importantly, can you hear me? I am glad that we are going back over the Virgil Regal case because she definitely deserves her story being told. I don't know why that does that. But first, in the night room, we have a way of entering story time. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Pull your curtains nice and tight, real tight, so no one can peek in. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to travel up your spine. And let's begin. Are we ready over there in YouTube land? Hello, Truth Positive, how are you? Let's begin. This true crime case was presented to me from Who's That Girl? She sends me some that are absolutely chilling, some that I have never heard before, and this was one of them. This is quite possibly the most chilling, evil, sadistic true crime case that I believe I've heard in quite some time. Both of the stories are tonight, actually. I don't know if we'll get to the serial unaliver. If we do, then we do. If we don't, then we don't. Perhaps he'll be picked on the wheel of fate. But let's give Vera Jo Regal what she's due. Chapter 1. A smile that hid the storm. Viewer's discretion is strongly advised. In the blue-collar town of Findlay, Ohio, where quiet streets wrapped around tired homes, a young woman with a soft voice and an open heart slipped through the cracks of a system that was meant to protect her. I'm going to start out the show by showing you a picture of Vera Jo. I want you to get it into your mind what she looked like, who she was. So it's not an extremely clear picture. I really couldn't find any that was super clear. But this is Vera Jo. Okay, so now you have an idea. Her name was Vera Jo Regal. She wasn't what the world calls normal. She was born in 1986. Vera had been labeled early. She had developmental delays, learning disabilities, a cognitive age that was actually closer to the age of 8 than the 20 years old that she was. She struggled in everything that she did. She struggled in school, but Vera had something that not a lot of people possess. She had a huge heart of love. She smiled too quickly, and people were able to catch on that Vera wasn't like them. She forgave too easily. When the girls would push her on the playground at school or hit her with one of those red balls, she would laugh. She trusted absolutely and completely. That trust, that childlike innocence would be what would destroy her. Vera had survived a childhood that left invisible scars. She'd been hurt by the one person that was meant to protect her. If your mother and father won't protect you, then who in the heck will? he would eventually be sentenced to 20 years in prison for what he did to her. But no courtroom could undo the way that Vera learned to survive. She learned how to survive by making herself small, agreeable to everything, and silent. All that Vera Jo Regal wanted, all she had ever wanted, was to belong. Isn't that what we all want? Is to belong to someone, for someone to love us, to hold us when we cry. At the age of 19, Vera met a boy named Zachary. Zachary was 12 years old. Wrap your mind around this. A 19-year-old meets a boy who is 12 years old. Like Vera, he had cognitive disabilities as well. They both had challenges. They connected quickly, though. And Zachary, Vera saw something that she had never had before. She saw someone who didn't make her feel broken, because that is all that she had ever felt, was broken. Someone who looked at her like she actually mattered. Because most people would look at her and make fun of her, snicker behind their mouths, behind their hands. She was used to that. But Zachary, he looked her in the eyes. He smiled and talked to her. But Vera had no idea what she was walking into. No idea at all. Zachary lived just blocks away at 300 Center Street. It was a sagging old house with dark windows and an even darker reputation. 300 Center Street had been the site of police cars pulling up in the middle of the night, sirens blaring. The neighbors had their whispers. No one liked who resided at that house. And if they did go there, they didn't stay too long. People avoided eye contact with the woman who ruled 300 Center Street. Sherry Brooks was her name, known to some by the nickname of Sugar Babe. When Vera first met Sherry, she was kind. She smiled. You come on in this house. You are welcome here. Zachary told me about you. I am just so happy that you are here. This is where you belong. Yeah. Right. The thing is, for the first time in a long time, Vera felt safe. She felt welcome. She felt accepted. But this is the thing, night dwellers. Predators don't always show their teeth first. They lure you, trap you. Sherry Brooks was no normal matriarch. She was manipulative, controlling, charming, even. When it suited her purpose. But one thing about Sherry, she was always watching everything, everyone. You didn't make a move in her house without her permission. Some said that she had a way of pulling people into her world and bending them to her will. And if you fought against her, you made a terrible mistake, because you didn't want to be on Sherry Brooks' bad side. So, Vera moved in. She was living with a couple of other girls who had learning disabilities. She went back to her apartment and told her advisor, "I've found someone who likes me, and they're letting me live there for free, and I think I'm in love." So she brought her things. She brought her clothes, her notebooks, her hope. She wanted to be part of something. For once in her 19 years, she wanted to be part of something. And for a while, it seemed like she was indeed part of something. Sherry treated her sweetly. "You are the sweetest girl. I don't know how anybody could treat you bad. You have a heart of gold, Vera Jo. I'm just happy that I was able to get my hands on you." I'm sure you were. Zachary, even though he was 12 years old, he seemed to care. They played games together. They would go for walks, under supervision, of course. Vera felt like she was on top of the world. The house, though strange, old, musty, dirty, it was full of life. And that is what Vera liked. She liked the laughter, the smiles, the joking, playing games, being able to stay up as long as you wanted. But underneath the surface, the walls were already beginning to shift. Because this was the problem. Sherry didn't want a daughter-in-law. That is not what she wanted from Vera. She wanted something else, which I will reveal here shortly. She had a plan. And remember that Sherry Brooks was very sneaky, very conniving. very wicked. Little by little, things begin to change. Vera, go in the kitchen and clean it. Vera looked at Sherry one time and said, well, I don't know. Go clean the kitchen now. So Sherry did. And by the time that Vera realized that she was no longer a guest in the house, but actual property, nothing more than a slave to Sherry Brooks, it was already way too late to leave. Chapter number 2, the house that ate the light. 300 Center Street, when you first looked at it, it didn't scream danger from the outside. Oh. But on the inside, it sagged like most homes on the block. These were poor people. Tired paint, crooked porches. They didn't have time for renovations. They were trying to make it from day to day, week to week, paycheck to paycheck. The shades were drawn tight. Sherry did not let any light in 300 Center Street. But inside, light didn't behave the same. It faded faster there. Shadows moved longer. Even on clear days, it always felt like dusk. That's when Vera first noticed. She tried to ignore it. She tried to just mark it off as being nerves. It was just her imagination. She didn't want to seem ungrateful. She really didn't. After all, Sherry had taken her in. She reminded her of it every day. Do you know where you would be if I didn't bring you in here and take mercy on you? Do you know where you would be, Vera? You're not a smart girl. Trust me, I have your best interest at heart. She'd given her a bed. I don't have to give you a bedroom. I can let you sleep in the couch. But I'm giving you a place that has a door for privacy. For you and Zachary. 12 years old. Just keep that in mind. You have a house where the utilities are paid for. You have electricity. You have water. Don't be ungrateful, Vera. Because if you continue to be like that, I'll have to cast you out. And then where are you going to be? Alone. That's where you're going to be. You have a family. Be grateful. But almost immediately, that kindness that Sherry was so quick to remind Vera about, it came with expectations. Vera was expected to help. Not with little chores, mind you. Everything. Dishes, laundry, caring for Sherry's medical needs. She was a terrible diabetic. She was wheelchair bound, cleaning up messes that weren't hers. Vera was woken up one night with a loud knock on her bedroom door. She went to the door, and one of Sherry's nieces was standing there. Vera, Sherry wants you to go in there and clean that mess up. It wasn't just a mess. Sherry had an accident. In her wheelchair. And Vera was expected to clean it up. Her hours were not hers anymore. Her name was not called more than anyone else's at first, but now it was nothing but, Vera Jo, do this. Vera Jo, do that. Vera Jo, you know what you were supposed to be doing. Now get in there and do it. It wasn't with affection. It was with commands. So she did it because she felt like she had no other choice. One time she hesitated. She wasn't feeling well. She told Sherry that her stomach was crampy. I don't care. Clean it up. What made Vera so angry was one of her nephews had taken a plate of gravy and had knocked it on the floor on purpose. And he was laughing. And Vera, she said that I shouldn't have to do that. I didn't do that. But every time that she did it, she was met with silence, cold glares, sarcastic laughter from Sherry's other children. One time in the summer, it was very hot, and Vera Jo loved banana popsicles. She loved them. And her advisor would always walk to the convenience store with her, and he would buy her banana popsicles. So on this hot summer day, Vera asked her if she could have $5. For what? I want some banana popsicles. I like them. I'm sure you do. What are you going to get them with? Well, you take my Social Security check, and I just figured that I could get something out of it for me. She started taking her Social Security checks on a regular basis. And every time that Vera would say something, you want to complain? You want to go back to that hovel that you were living in with those other two girls? Is that what you want, Vera Jo? I can make that happen. You're supposed to be grateful for everything that I give you. I guess Vera Jo had a little bit of an argumentative streak in her that day. But she stopped when she was knocked to the floor. Don't you ever question me. Be grateful that I let you stay here. The only reason I do is because Zachary likes you. You just remember one thing, girl. You will never make it on your own. You're not capable of it. She said it calmly, like it was a fact of life. You should be glad that someone wants you. I don't want you, but my son does. And that is the only reason that I'm letting you stay here. So you keep that in mind, girl. Vera wondered what she had did wrong. When she first came there, she was treated with respect and dignity. But why not now? What had she ever done? She was taking her money. That line just kept repeating in Vera's head over and over and over. You should be thankful that someone wants you. I don't, but my son does. And so that's the only reason that I keep you here. Can you imagine being told that day after day, week after week, month after month? Vera began to lose weight. It wasn't because of anything but the fact that she was being starved. She wasn't allowed to eat with the others. She got leftovers, and sometimes she only got the scraps that were left over on the plates. Her clothes began to hang loose on her. Her eyes stopped meeting other people's because she didn't feel worthy of making eye contact with him. And Sherry told her, "You're nothing." And then one day, without warning, Vera Jo was cleaning up in the kitchen. Sherry came up to her. She told her that she was being moved to a new room. At this point, Vera Jo did not say anything to Sherry, because if she did, she would be backhanded, or she would let one of the other children pinch her, pull her hair, anything. So Vera left the kitchen with Sherry and was led down the hallway. A door was opened, and it was a closet, a tiny closet. It smelled really bad, from a dog that had been there formerly and had got hit by a car. There was no windows, no light in this closet. It was just a blanket that stank to high heavens and the sound of mice scratching inside the walls. Sometimes Vera would cry out, "There's something in here with me. Please let me come out." But all she would get was cackling. "You'll stay in there until you learn how to respect me. You learn how to respect me, and you learn how to respect these other family members, and I'll consider letting you have your room back." And Vera believed her. What else could she do? She believed that it was punishment, that she was doing something wrong. Remember, she had the mind of an 8-year-old. So whatever Sherry told her was the God's honest truth. She felt like she had failed somehow. She wasn't sure how she failed. She felt like she deserved it, the punishment that she was being given. Sherry never raised her voice. She didn't have to. She was someone to fear. She controlled that house like a queen. Her throne was a battered wheelchair. Her crown was fear, and her scepter was her hand. Her soldiers were her sons and her silence. Sherry Brooks broke people slowly, not with fist, but with whispers, with reminders of what they were without her. And she didn't only say this to Vera, she said it to her children too. She was so mean, so cruel, so calculating. You're nothing. You're worthless. I don't know why that you were born. You are absolutely not worth the breath you breathe. You just remember one thing, girl. You're alone. No one is going to come and help you. Not a single solitary soul. You're alone. And so Vera stayed. Every time that she would try to get out and leave, someone would catch her. And they would tell Sherry, and Sherry would punish her. Night after night, this poor young woman would cry for hours, curled up in that small closet with that dirty blanket. But she always saw the silver lining. If I can just be better, if I can just do what she wants, it's just a phase. She'll like me again. I just have to do what she says and do what the others say. Families fight. Maybe I am the one that's bad here, but I'm going to try my best to get better. But the truth was, she was living in a home. She was trapped in a system with a name and a front porch. And it had already begun to feed on her day by day. Chapter 3, The Cradle and the Chains. Sherry Brooks had one idea, a brilliant one to her. All she had was boys. She had lost her one daughter to the system because she was abusing her, and the hospital called the police and she was taken away. Sherry wanted a girl. So she thought about it. She started talking to Zachary. Zachary, come here, son. 12 years old. Would you like to be a daddy? Would you like to make your mama happy? Yes, ma'am. Okay. I want you to date Vera Jo, you like her, right? You think she's pretty, right? Uh-huh. Okay. I want you to date her. Vera Jo was just happy that someone was paying attention to her and was being kind and nice. So this 12-year-old boy started dating Vera Jo. A few months later, Vera Jo woke up in the morning. She was sick, so terribly sick. But she smiled because what Sherry told her made her smile. Vera Jo, you have did something very good. Vera Jo looked at her, rising from the floor. What? Oh, honey. You're in the motherly way. What? You're in the motherly way. You're gonna have a baby. Aren't you excited? Vera Jo smiled. She always liked to play with baby dolls. And now she was going to have one of her very own. For a moment, the darkness that had been creeping in on her, there was finally a small sliver of light. A sense of purpose. She pressed her hands to her stomach. And she made whispered promises into her skin. They said she would talk to her body all the time, but especially when she found out that she was pregnant. She promised that baby that she would be safe, and she would be loved, and that she would be the kind of mother that she had never had. But someone already had plans for the baby. Sherry made an appointment with an obstetrician. She was far enough along that they were able to tell what the sex of the child was. And the doctor looked at Vera Jo as she was doing the ultrasound. Do you want to know what you're having? Yes. Sherry Brooks was right there by her side. What is it, doctor? She's gonna have a girl. A girl. Oh. Vera Jo, you're gonna have a girl. We're gonna have a girl. Sherry had planned everything so meticulously. She knew about the pregnancy almost before Vera even knew it. She told her that she was pregnant. And unlike Vera, she wasn't overjoyed for the new life. All that she was overjoyed was for one reason, that it was a girl. And that she was going to have a chance to raise her again. You see, Sherry had, I'm going to have to take this crown off. It is Oh my God. It is squeezing my head so bad. It's going to make the night queen have a night headache. Sherry had lost custody of her own daughters long ago. One after the other, they were taken by the state because of abuse and other reasons that no one liked to speak about, things that were unspeakable. She did. Allegations that made people shift uncomfortably in their seats. Some said Sherry had never been the same since her daughter was taken away. Maria was her favorite. But she was removed from the house when she was rushed to the hospital with unexplained injuries. Now, Vera's baby girl was her second chance. She didn't hide it. Vera would be in the kitchen cleaning. Her name's gonna be Willa Dean. I have always wanted a daughter named Willa Dean. Don't you think that's pretty? What do you think about that, Vera? Well, Vera didn't want her daughter's name to be Willa Dean. Sherry would constantly walk around the house and refer to it as my baby, never Vera's baby. Even before she was born. She told Vera one morning, Vera was getting on up there in pregnancy, her ankles were beginning to swell. You're too simple to be a mother. You can't be a mother. Just be thankful that I'm willing to take her on as my own. That baby needs someone strong to raise her, and you and Zachary sure as heck can't do that. I'll take care of Willa Dean. She's mine. Vera tried to argue at first. I can be a mother. I can. Girl, you can't even halfway write. How are you going to take care of a newborn? But arguing with Sherry Brooks was like arguing with smoke. You could swing your fist all you wanted, but she always slipped around you. Cold, calm, and smiling. And then the manipulation began. Vera made a comment that she wanted to take the baby and move back to the apartment. She wanted to try to raise it on her own. Oh, that was not the thing to say to Sherry Brooks. You want that baby to grow up in the system? Like you? Look how you turned out. You can't even care for yourself, much as less care for a baby. You'll lose her, you know? You're gonna lose her. You might as well just hand her on over to the state of Ohio right now. Because they're not gonna let you keep that baby. So Vera stopped talking, stopped arguing. I tell you what, I'm gonna let you have your room back. How about that? You'll have all the room you need. That closet isn't where you need to be right now. Now after she's born, you're going back. But right now, I'm gonna let you have that room. Isn't that nice of me to do? I'm taking it away from one of my own kids so you can have it. Those words cut deeper than any slap. Vera was not close to term. She still had about a month and a half left. Sherry walked in the living room one night with a bottle. Here, take this. This stuff is castor oil. You take it and you're going to be in labor. And I'm going to have my little girl. Go on. Go to the kitchen. Get you a tablespoon. Fill it up. Take it. Vera resisted. What is it? It's going to help you go into labor, girl. It's time, high time that Willadine was here. Don't you want to see her? You've been waiting forever. And I know you're ready for those swollen ankles to leave. And you're ready to have that girlish figure back. Go on. Take it. Don't argue with me. I know what I'm doing. So Vera drank it. Sherry watched her the whole time. And Vera didn't know better. She just knew that it had a very foul taste. And she just wanted to do the right thing. She wasn't happy when Sherry told her that after the baby was born, she was going to be going back to the closet. She was determined that she was going to do right. And that Sherry was going to change her mind and that she was going to let her stay in the room. Early the next morning, her contractions started. She went into labor weeks early. At the hospital, she was scared. She was shaking and crying. Zachary was 13 when he became a father. Vera Jo was 20. As soon as that baby was wiped clean, measured, Sherry Brooks was there. Just barged in. Vera Jo, are you ready to see your baby girl? The doctor asked. No. She's not going to go with her. She's going to come to me. I'm going to take care of her because she's simple. Well, ma'am, I understand that, but it's important that the mom bond with the child. I'm going to be her mother. She wanted to hold the baby first. She insisted on it. She was the first to see her. She was the first to hold her, and she named her Willa Dean. Sherry was there the whole time. She was demanding that the nurses hand her Willa Dean when the baby was crying. Ma'am, she wants to bond with her mother. She's not capable of feeding that child. You go on and give her over here to me, or I'm going to report you. Give her to me. Sherry snapped. I'm the one that's going to be raising her. I'm going to be the one buying her formula. I'm going to be the one buying her diapers. And Vera just sat there in the hospital bed, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say. When she returned home with Willa Dean, nothing was the same from that point forward. Sherry took over completely. She wouldn't let Vera hold the baby for no more than maybe 10 minutes. And the whole time that she did, she was glaring at her. Don't hold her like that. You support her head. Don't hold her like that. You don't know. You don't have the sense God gave a rooster. She wouldn't let her feed her own baby unless she was supervised. She told visitors when they came over and they heard the baby crying, "Oh, well, Vera Jo, she is beautiful. That's not her child. She's mine." When Vera would try to push back, she was met with threats. Let me tell you something, girl. If you ever try to take Willadine from me, well, I'll make sure you never see her again. In fact, I'll make sure you never see daylight again. Do you understand me? And the terrifying part about it that Vera Jo knew she could. Sherry Brooks could absolutely do exactly as she promised. She had control of everything. She had control of the house. She had control of Zachary, of the paperwork, of Vera's money. She still was taking the Social Security checks. Willadine wasn't a baby to her. She wasn't a daughter to her. She was a possession. She was a trophy. She was nothing more than a do-over. And Vera, all Vera was if she was out of formula, Vera was there to feed her. She got furious one night. She's not taking the bottle. I don't know what's wrong with her. I tell you what it is. It's you. They're knocking on that door and you're disturbing her peace. Now you go home and feed her. Feed her now. I can't. What do you mean you can't? It doesn't come out anymore. I swear you are not worth the ground you walk on, girl. She was just the cradle that was now empty. She had had the baby. Now she was chained. We'll stop there and take a quick 5-minute intermission, and I will come back with the remaining story of Vera Jo Regal. Let me know what you think in the comments. I told you it was going to be chilling, didn't I? Stay tuned. You know, I would have to say, when I hear this story and what this woman did, and we haven't even scratched the surface yet, it is just so chilling and so cold. That's okay, Emma Bama. I've still got a lot more. This is going to be the only story that we'll reach tonight, for sure. Oh, thank you, Whiskey the dog. Thank you. Glad you're liking it, Julie. Good, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Cosmic Shell, thank you for the follow. Cosmic Shell, do you like scary stories? Hey, Toilet Spider, how are you? Victor Catala 2, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. This is a really tough story, and if you think you're angry now, just wait. All right, let me see if I can go in I would like to thank for the following twisted trinkets: Toilet Spider, Joanne, Martha, thank you, Mia, Martha, thank you, thank you, thank you, Melanie, Julie, Judy, Ginger Moore, XJ, Snow Tea, Panther Paul, love it, Kimberly White, aka Babs, Brandy Joe, hey darling, Matt Granny, how are you? So good to see you here. Karen, thank you. Debbie, Trina, thank you. Kathy, thank you for the poll. I love that when I see that. That is so funny. I love all these twisted trinkets. They are absolutely amazing. Hey Jenna, how are you? Spitfire, Dennis, Brit baby, thank you. If I'm missing anyone, please let me know because it keeps rolling. Jerry, thank you so much. Leslie Marie, AJ Kev, I love your name when I see it. Cece, Roby, Kimberly, thank you so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello. Let's keep sharing, share. People aren't going to know about this live unless it's shared. I have been, me and the Night Watchers and the Night Dwellers, we are pushing the content. Push. That algorithm is doing something. It is picking up on something. So if you are brand new here, let me know where you heard me from. Was it on an FYP? Was it on one of the Night Watchers videos or one of the Night Dwellers videos that they posted? Did you find us on another social media platform? I want to know where you're coming from. And I am so happy that you are here. This is a live interaction. I don't want you just sitting there and listening. I want you involved and giving your theories and just making it great. This is a warm, safe, loving, and welcome environment. There is no judgment here. Come as you are. For just the next 2 hours, I want you to sit down, leave your cares behind, and enter the world of the night realm where the stories are true and twisted. Oh, I keep moving that. Thank you, Mia. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. Hello, Propaganda. So happy to see you here. What are you thinking? Who's that girl? Is it scary? Is it chilling? I did a lot of research on this. I do a lot of research on every story because I want to bring you the best experience. Sally A. Reese, grab your popcorn. Hey, Edith Lyra. Good evening, Chikachula 11. This is a true story, Julie Reynolds. That's what makes it so heartbreaking. I do have a fiction night where I just tell fiction, but this is true. And it is sad. Why, thank you, Melodine. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Why am I doing that? Now I can't get it back up. Oh well. Come on. Oh, now it's doing it. Come on. Move. be difficult. Of course it's going to be difficult. Because if it wasn't difficult, then he wouldn't know what to do. No, it's this one. No, it's that one. All right. Oh my goodness. Few more minutes. Let you go out, walk the puppy dog, do whatever you gotta do. There we go. Okay, I'm not messing with it again. I promise. If it's crooked, it's crooked. It's gonna be a Crooked Twisted Tales live. Let me look over here. I have been seeing some messages over here. Truth. Hello, Brian. Hey, Sherry. It's amazing, isn't it, Sherry? It's just heartbreaking.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Why is it doing that? Yeah, so in one article that I read, Sherry said, they said Sherry had daughters, but it was just that one, which was Maria, and she was taken by the state. Hello, Amy. How are you? Hey, Rodine Savior. I was just thinking about you the other day and your creepy dynamic voice. How have you been? I lied. I said I wasn't going to touch it anymore. Hello, hello. Hello, OTG. Wonderful. I'm so glad that you are joining it. If you have a friend, family member, co-worker, neighbor, someone that loves scary stories, but it's not just scary stories. This is what we cover. True crime, serial unalivers, the paranormal, urban legends, cryptids, Appalachian horror, lore. So every night is a different category. But with this one, I really just wanted to give it its due. Aw, thank you, the cool user. Hello there. Nana Sherry, you're sweet. It's different, isn't it? Look at the detail on that. Fitting for the Night Queen to read stories in, right? All right. Again, I will caution, viewer discretion is advised. As everybody is coming back in, hopefully you have your popcorn, you have your beverage. If you're eating chocolate, think of me. All right. Everybody ready to hear the rest of Vera Jo Regal. I'm so glad you like it. Hello, Wicked Raven. This one here Yeah, this one's really pretty. I was looking for the white one, but I don't see that one. You got your blanket. Very, very good. Look at Raven. Come here. Closer. Do you like scary stories? You're good. No problem. Let's start sharing this. Friends, family, let's share the live, share the live, share the live. It gets activated, gets it on the FYP, and brings people in. Welcome, new night dwellers. Is everybody loving the music? Would you like a change up in the second half? Let me know. And tell me if you're ready. I'm so glad you like it, Indiana Girl. You tell. Hold on. Please tell the cool user that I have never enjoyed an interview as much as I did with him. Santa Paranormal is just amazing. We had him on Paranormal Wednesday, and he came in and was just telling us all his stories of, when he is out. He cleans headstones, he cleans gravestones. He's very respectful of graves and cemeteries, and it was just amazing listening to him tell the stories. The cool user, please tell him that Brent said hi, and I want to do it with him again. I want to collaborate in some way because it was absolutely amazing. Will you tell him that for me? Thank you. Everybody like the music? Hey, ask me LOL. How are you? Oh, he is amazing. He really is a class act. He is really, really good. I enjoyed it. Great personality. I don't know if everyone that I interview will always click like that. It was just something that was special. All right, let's see. But first, you may have gotten out of that mindset of stories. So let's get back into it again, shall we? Lower your lights. Light a candle for ambiance. Lock those doors again. Pull your curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself up in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to enter your room. And let's begin. I have been telling the story of Vera Jo Regal. Someone asked me if it was true because when you think about it, everything that this girl went through is just horrific and seems like something that I would write. But sadly, it is true. 100% true. So I showed you a picture of Vera Jo. Now I want you to see the monster. So, this is the matriarch of the family. Sherry Brooks. Cold, calculating, conniving, sneaky, and just a heart of just purest evil. The purest evil. Hello. Doesn't she? When I first saw it, I was like, she looks so mean. That's the matriarch. That is the one that struck fear into everyone that came in contact with her. This here's another picture of her. This is the matriarch. This is the one that struck fear into the heart of everyone who saw her. Yeah. Now let me go back and remind you Vera Jo and Willa Dean. That is the only picture that I can find that's even really able to be seen, because the rest of them are so blurry. She must not have had a lot of photos taken of her. Holding Willa Dean, that she wasn't even able to nurture and cradle and sing lullabies to. Everybody good? You've seen her. It wants to be difficult. It wants to be difficult on YouTube. Chapter 4. The closet door. The closet wasn't just a space. I don't want you to picture like some big, large closet in a big bedroom. That was not what it was. It was a terribly small closet. No light. Vera was put in darkness. It was a sentence. There was no light. There was no window. There was no airflow for the poor woman. This door didn't lock with a key. It jammed. And sometimes they even wedged it shut with a chair, just so she couldn't get out. Other times they just slammed it hard enough that Vera knew not to try it. The floor was rough, smelled. The ceiling was low. She could barely stand. She had to sleep curled on her side. She wasn't even given a mattress, just that stinky old blanket. Sherry wouldn't even let her have a pillow. She said, "You have to earn a pillow." It was just that scratchy blanket that smelled like mildew and rot. This was Vera Jo Regal's room. Why? Because Sherry said so. And if Sherry said so, no more argument. Nothing else said. It started after Willa Dean came home. Sherry, who was already territorial, became increasingly so. Every time that Vera tried to parent Willa Dean, Sherry found a reason to punish her. And when I tell you what the punishments were, you would just cringe. She would punish her if the baby cried. That was her fault. If Sherry would go to pick up Willa Dean and she would start crying, it wasn't her fault, it was Vera Jo's fault. Vera, you're holding her wrong. You didn't get that bottle warm enough. Your tone is just too loud. You talk too loud. Shut up. I don't want to hear you anymore. It didn't matter what Vera Jo did. There was no pleasing Sherry Brooks. It just wasn't. One night after Vera approached Sherry very humbly, she asked if she could take Willa Dean to the park. It was a beautiful fall day and she just wanted to get out of the house. She hadn't been out of the house since the baby was born. Sherry stared at her in silence. And then Sherry called one of her sons over. Go in that closet, take that blanket out, put it in the hallway. Vera knew she had done something wrong. You'll sleep in the hallway from now on. You're not worthy of that closet. You can sleep right there in that hallway. And if you cross me again, you remember what I told you? Do you remember what I warned you? Vera gulped. Yes, ma'am. Good. Maybe you're not as stupid as you look. For 2 weeks, Vera Jo had to sleep in the hallway. One of her kids recollected that Vera Jo was trying to sleep in the hallway as best as she could. She said that Sherry intentionally rolled her wheelchair down the hallway and rammed it right into Vera Jo's head. It wasn't punishment, it was control. Sherry wanted to show Vera Jo that she had absolutely no room, that she was owned by Sherry, and that if she crossed it, there was going to be consequences. You know what, boys? Sherry said one night. Vera Jo thinks she's one of us. Can you believe that girl thinks she is one of us? The best thing you ever did was push that baby out. That's it. You know what? You're even less than human. I really look at you as being like a piece of furniture. I can move you wherever I want you at any time. I can move you out of this house. Heck, I can move you out of this world. You know that? You know that I'm in control of you, right? Say it. And so Vera Jo would. The rest of the house functioned perfectly normal. She was made to sit in the hallway up against the wall. There was laughter drifting in from the kitchen. Willadine cooed for the first time. Sherry was so proud. Look at my baby girl. Did you just hear that sound she made? She knows who her mama is. Games were played in the living room. Vera Jo was made to sit in the dark hallway. Meals were served. After 2 weeks, Sherry said she couldn't stand the smell of her anymore. So where did Vera go? Back to the closet, of course. And when Vera was inside that space, she was at least happy that she wasn't able to be looked on all the time. She heard them talk about her, like a ghost trapped behind drywall. At night, Vera Jo would hear Willadine cry. She had to sleep in Sherry's bedroom in an old bassinet. And Vera would press her ear to the wall, and she would sing lullabies to her. That was literally all that she could do with her daughter. But Sherry knew that too. Sometimes to hurt Vera, Sherry would bring Willadine down the hallway to the closet door. And she would talk sweetly to her, and she would make Willadine smile. It's okay, Willadine. Mama's not coming. She's being punished right now. She's missing so many things. Her first smile. You missed that, Vera Jo. The first time she grabbed onto my finger and sucked it like she thought it was a passy. You missed that too. And then she would just will away. And Vera would cry silently into her blanket. During the day, she became invisible. No one made eye contact with her. Not one soul. She was called when there were chores to be done. That was the only time that she was spoken to. And it was only for the dirtiest of chores. The things that they asked Vera to do, told her to do, is just irreprehensible. One time she was called in because Willadine had messed her diaper, and she was told to clean it up. She was forced to change bedding. No one else wanted to touch. She had to take out trash that others had stomped on. Like they would just stomp on the bags and just make a mess for her at Sherry's command. Food became rationed. Vera was told that she could not eat with humans, that she had to eat when pigs ate. Sometimes it was scraps, sometimes it was nothing. It was nothing for her to go without a meal for days. Once she was given a plate full of cold grease and was told that it was her dinner. And that if she didn't eat it, there would be consequences. There's going to be consequences, Vera Jo. I want to see every bite of it go. Sherry stopped using her name after that. She became her, the girl, that thing. And slowly Vera began to believe it, because that is all that she heard. When you're told enough times that you are worthless, something inside of you begins to agree. If you're not strong-minded, and if you don't have thick skin like an armadillo, it's going to affect you. When no one calls your name, you start to forget it. She was never called Vera Jo again. Chapter 5, The Candy Bar. It was still there. A Kit Kat bar, half melted, dusty, sitting on the mantle above the fireplace in Sherry's living room. It was like a relic. It had been there for over a year and a half. No one touched it. No one dared, because it had been placed there in memory of one of her sons, Kevin Jr., who had died in a terrible traffic accident. And when she arrived on the scene, she found that in the back seat. He was high, according to rumors. He is the one that started. He is the one responsible for the crash, according to the rumors. The candy bar had become a shrine. It was all that Sherry had left of him. It was a sacred object in a house that was full of chaos. But Vera was starving. She hadn't eaten in over 48 hours. The family had spaghetti the night before and gave her nothing. But by the time that Vera was allowed in the kitchen, it was gone, completely gone. The plates had been completely scraped clean. She drank from the faucet. She wasn't allowed to drink out of her glass. Her stomach growled so loud at night that she couldn't sleep. So Vera Jo walked into the living room. She stood in front of the candy bar. She stared at it for a very long time. She told herself she would only take a bite, just one bite, and she would be all right. No one would notice if it was just one bite that was gone. She would put it back exactly as she found it. Maybe no one would notice. Who was going to care about a candy bar? Vera Jo unwrapped it slowly. The smell of chocolate ascended her nose. She took that single bite of the chocolate and the caramel, and everything changed in that moment. There was a girl named Gina who was staying at the house, who had once lived in the house and still visited often. She didn't say anything at first. She said that she just stood there in shock, as Vera in her hunger didn't even notice that she was standing in the shadows. That night the house turned. Sherry summoned everyone to the living room. She sat like a queen in her wheelchair, her hands propped on her stomach. She called Vera into the living room. "You stand right there, girl." Her sons were there, her nephews. Daniel was there, Nicole was there, Zachary chuckled, formed a half circle around her. "You stole from my dead son." She said it so quietly that Vera hardly heard it. "What do you have to say for yourself?" Vera's lips parted. I didn't mean... Sherry slammed her fist on the armrest of her wheelchair. "You are filth!" At this point, Zachary, who was the father of Willadine, wouldn't even look at Vera Jo. She just wanted him to make eye contact with her. Nicole grinned. Daniel cracked his knuckles. Daniel had been in prison for some time and was just allowed out. It wasn't really even a chance for Vera to defend herself, because whatever she had to say wasn't acceptable. Sherry told Vera that she had disrespected Kevin's spirit, that was all that she had left of him, the only link that she had to him. That the candy bar had been sacred, that she had desecrated it, and now she was going to pay. She told her that Kevin had died because of people like her that was selfish and only thought of themselves. What do you expect when you don't give her food for 48 hours? Hold on. This battery is wanting to go. "You always take what's yours, though," she hissed. "Your baby, my patience, and now my son's memory." That night, Vera wasn't just locked in the closet. She was forced to sleep outside, under the garage, chained. She was humiliated. She was brought back in the next morning, and what Sherry allowed these nephews and children to do to Vera Jo was just unimaginable cruelty. Sherry made her stand in the center of the living room for nearly an hour that afternoon while the others spat at her insults, slurs, fantasies of what they wanted to do to her. And when they were done and she was bruised and bleeding, she was shoved back into the closet without food, without water, without her name, without any dignity. It was never about the candy bar. It was the fact of showing Vera that she had no place at all, no rights, no body, just a borrowed breath inside someone else's house. And from that moment on, Sherry vowed, I protected you, girl. I protected you. Now, that covering is gone. You don't have my protection anymore. Chapter 6, The New Arrivals. The house on Center Street had always been dangerous, but now it was something far, far worse. I mentioned Daniel, who had been in prison and had just been released. This house was ready to unalive. That shift happened when two names arrived, Daniel Bixler and Nicole Peters. Daniel was Sharon's cousin by blood, though the nature of their relationship made the word cousin feel too clean. There were rumors, incest, abuse, power, something feral that was passed down through generations. None of this family was normal. Nicole was his teenage girlfriend, and she was just as mean, just as vicious as he was. They weren't looking for shelter, really. They were looking for chaos. And Sherry welcomed them in like a welcome guest. Daniel had just gotten out of prison. Like I said, he was on the run again. He was angry and wild-eyed, the kind of man who made people cross the street when they saw him coming. He was bad news. Nicole, his girlfriend, clung to him like static. Electricity. She was always smiling when she shouldn't be. There was something wrong with her, too. And when they saw Vera, it was like they had been handed a toy. She was weak. They picked up on it. She was isolated. They picked up on it. She was already broken, and they wanted to break her more. They took over where Sherry had left off, but they added something darker to the mix. Pleasure. They didn't just humiliate Vera Jo, they enjoyed it. Daniel would shove her for no reason, knock her down, spit near her feet, cornered her in the hallway, and growled threats so vile that they even made the walls go still. Nicole would offer her food with one hand and then slap it out of reach with the other, laughing, always laughing. The first time Vera was physically attacked, she didn't even cry. She just looked stunned, like she hadn't realized that it was allowed to do that to her. But in this house, Sherry alive, she allowed it, she wanted it. It was more than allowed, it was celebrated. When they would gang up on her, she would sit in her wheelchair and clap. Sherry never lifted a finger to stop it. Sometimes she gave silent nods of approval. Other times she pretended to be elsewhere, watching TV, lips curled into a smirk, knowing fully well what they were doing to her. Vera tried to disappear. She tried to hide in the closet, but they would just drag her out. She said less, she moved slower, ate less, but it didn't matter. Daniel called her meat. Nicole called her the thing. Sherry stopped speaking at all. She wouldn't even acknowledge Vera. She became the family's punching bag, emotionally, mentally, physically, and worst of all, Zachary, the boy that she thought loved her, he wouldn't even look at her. He sat in the same rooms and said nothing as they were torturing her. Sometimes he would even join in at his mother's urging. And slowly the family began to speak more freely. You know, she's just dead weight. She's draining us. She's the reason that everything is going wrong. Everything was blamed on Vera. And then one night, Vera overheard Nicole whispering to Sherry, "We should just get rid of her. Do we really need her here, Mama Sherry?" Daniel laughed. "Oh, we will. We're going to get rid of her. We don't want meat around here. It's spoiled and stinks real bad." And the most terrifying thing was no one disagreed. They never said it outright. They didn't need to, honestly. The entire house knew. Vera Jo Regal's days were numbered. Technically, she had 3 days left. Viewer's discretion is advised. It began with the toothbrush. Daniel and Zachary pulled her into the bathroom. There was shouting, mocking, and then silence, screaming, crying. What they did next was cruel beyond words, something a child couldn't even comprehend, let alone consent to it. It left Vera curled on the floor in the bathroom, shaking. When she emerged, her eyes were glazed over, her voice was gone. The family laughed at her. Sherry smirked and Nicole told her, "Just walk it off, thing. Just walk it off." But Vera couldn't. She limped, moved like something dislocated. Her ribs ached, her stomach swelled, but the abuse didn't stop. That night they shoved her into a closet with no food, no blankets. It was in the middle of winter, just the smell of rot and the fading strength of a woman who had nothing left. She couldn't fight anymore. And then they switched to a weapon. Nicole led her into the bathroom again. She shut the door. No one knows exactly what was did or what was said, but Vera was found hours later with a gash on her leg. Not deep enough to unalive her, but deep enough to hurt. Nicole bragged about it. She told Daniel she liked it. "Did you hear her scream or cry this time? I think she liked that better than she did the toothbrush." She laughed as she mimicked Vera's cries. Vera was too weak to stand on her own by this point. That evening, they dragged her into the living room. They told her that she had to eat trash that night. Food scraps, rotten meat, something they may have, I just can't even speak it. They said it was her punishment. They said it was her training. They said she needed to learn her place. Chucky, the youngest son, watched it all with wide, unblinking eyes. Even he joined in. By nightfall, Vera's body trembled with every breath. Her face was bruised. Her hands were cut. Sherry rolled into the room and said calmly, "She's almost there. Just a little bit more." No one asked what she meant. Day 3 began with silence. Vera didn't speak. She didn't cry. She simply stared at the floor. When Nicole kicked her in her side, she didn't flinch. When Daniel told her to crawl, she did. That night, Sherry whispered something into Zachary's ear, and he nodded. Then she turned to Daniel and said, "Tonight's the night." Vera was handed a purple hoodie when she first came to Sherry Brooks' house. Sherry had purchased this for her. It was the purple one, and it was the one that she hadn't worn in weeks. Sherry wouldn't let her wear it anymore. But this time it was washed and it was folded. Zachary gave it to her, and his eyes never met hers. And without another word, Vera knew her time was up. Chapter 8, The Last Supper. The house was loud that night. Music blasted from the living room. Someone turned up the bass until it shook the walls. Nicole danced across the floor barefoot. Daniel was hitting his head against the cushion of the couch like he was trying to rev himself up for what was to come. He laughed with his mouth full of beer. Chucky threw chips in the air and caught them like it was a party. And to them, it was. For them. Vera sat in the corner where she was commanded to sit, legs pulled to her chest. She was barely breathing. She had on that purple hoodie, the one they'd given back to her like some kind of a twisted gift. It didn't smell like home, it smelled like bleach. They made her sit at the table, not to eat, just to watch. Plates were full. Laughter circled around like smoke. No one looked at her directly anymore. She was already fading from their world. Heck, she was already grown in their minds. Sherry sat in her wheelchair. Her expression was unreadable. She occasionally nodded, occasionally hummed along to the music, but mostly she just stared at Vera Jo with cold, calculating eyes. When Nicole leaned in and whispered, "Are you ready for tonight, thing?" Vera Jo smiled softly, and then she said it. Sherry, clear, sharp, final. Tomorrow morning, she's gone. No one asked what she meant because everyone already knew. It had been planned meticulously. Zachary stood behind Vera. He didn't say a word. He didn't touch her. He just stood there like a shadow. Later, when the food was gone, they told Vera, "Hey, you can have whatever's left." Cold bones, greasy napkins, a half-bitten sandwich that was soggy from falling down in a glass of water. She couldn't eat. She tried, but she just couldn't eat. And then Nicole slapped the plate away from her. You're too slow, thing. You need to pick up your speed. But then I guess that really doesn't matter now, does it? And everyone laughed. Daniel lit a cigarette and stared at her like she was already writing the eulogy for Vera Jo. Get some sleep. You got a big day tomorrow, Vera Jo. Vera didn't move. Sherry finally wheeled forward, looked Vera Jo in the eyes and said, "Good night, sugar," and then rolled out of the kitchen. The door to the closet creaked shut one last time. Vera called up. She pulled her hoodie around her face and whispered to the empty space. I imagine it was something like, "I love you, Willadine. I love you, I love you, I love you." Over and over and over, until even the whisper broke. Chapter 9, The Walk, March the 26th, 2011. Vera was told they were just going for a walk. Daniel said it with a smirk. Nicole chimed in cheerfully like they were heading to the park. Zachary stood silent near the door. He wouldn't look at her, but he held out her shoes. They were her old sneakers that she hadn't been allowed to wear since her pregnancy. The soles were thin. The ones she hadn't worn felt too tight on her feet now. She put them on with trembling hands. No one in the house moved, not Sherry, not Chucky, not even the pets. It was like everyone knew this show was over. Vera stepped outside for the first time in weeks, and it was cold. A very cold March. The cold hit her face like a slap. Her hoodie hung loose on her frame. She lost so much weight that her bones nearly showed through the fabric. She didn't ask where they were going. She already knew. They walked in silence for several blocks. It was so early that the sun hadn't even come up yet. Vera limped, her steps were uneven. Daniel walked just behind her. Nicole stepped ahead. Occasionally they exchanged glances and giggles. Zachary followed at a distance. His hands were in his pockets. He never said a word. They left the neighborhoods behind. The houses thinned out. The street lights stopped. Only the cold, icy wind followed them now. Up ahead were the train tracks. Long, cold, silent. When Vera saw them, she paused. For the first time, she looked at Daniel, really looked at him, and his face didn't show anger or fear, just excitement, expectation. "Keep walking. I didn't tell you to stop." Nicole smiled. "You're almost there. Just keep going." Vera didn't speak. She stepped forward. Gravel crunched beneath her shoes. The metal rails shimmered in moonlight like summer veins stretched across the earth. She stumbled once. Nicole caught her arm, not to help, but to hold her in place. And then they stopped. Middle of nowhere. No houses around them. No help. Just darkness. And still. Vera looked up at the sky, and there were no stars, just the black. And somewhere deep inside her, where fear had once lived, There was only silence now. She knew. She had always known. The tracks were slick with early morning dew. Vera stood barefoot now. Her shoes had been taken from her socks too. Gravel bit into the soles of her feet. Her legs wobbled. Her eyes were open but distant, like she'd already left her body behind. Daniel stood close. Nicole circled her like a predator playing with prey. There were no headlights, no sound but the wind. Nicole pulled something from her sleeve, sharp, glinting in the moonlight. She flashed it toward Vera like a magician revealing a final trick. Vera didn't flinch. Lay down. She didn't move. Nicole stepped forward, pressed it against her shoulder, not deep, just enough to draw a reaction, and Vera winced, barely. Then she spoke, a whisper. Please, don't. What Vera went through that night is just beyond description. It was supposed to be a normal run. Chapter 11, The Engineer. The train thundered along the tracks in the early hours of March 27, 2011. The engineer had done this route countless times. Midwestern countryside, sleepy crossings, empty stretches of steel that never changed. He spotted it from the distance. Something on the tracks. At first it looked like a deer, maybe roadkill that someone had dumped. That happened more often than anyone liked to admit. He leaned forward and squinted because the closer that he got, he realized that it was not a deer, and it was not roadkill. He didn't even have time to stop the train. He slammed the emergency brake, but